It's that time. It is happy hour. We are virtually on time. Pun intended there. I'm DJ J. Brandon today playing the part of DJ Neo because we're in the Matrix. This is all about virtual reality. You see in front of me the headset, the controllers. We're going to be going over it. We're going to be showing you some amazing things here on the show with TribeXR. They have got a simulator game that shows two CDJ 3000s and a DJM 900 Nexus 2, which is what I have in front of me, and it is amazing. I've tried it out. Phenomenal. We're going to get going in just a second on that. We're going to be bringing in one of the big guns there. We're going to be talking to him in virtual reality. We're also going to have, for the very first time today, my producer, JP, is going to come over to this side, the dark side as it is, and be on camera because he's going to show us. He's been dealing with this for a little bit, hanging out with it. It's 105 degrees out. I don't know what you got, what you need. It's one of those days. Got to go with something refreshing, something, kind of fruity. So we're going with the claw. Those of you I've mentioned in the past, we're going to start with a quick cheers to everybody. Cheers to my producer, of course. Click. Boom. There we go. It's raspberry. Real short news break for you. Here in California, we're reopened. A lot of states are reopened. A lot of us getting back to gigs. Look forward, probably in the next couple weeks, going to be looking at doing a mobile-centric show, talking about what it's like to be back. A lot of us going back to gigs for the first time. Some of us have been working, gratefully. And we want to go over the gear, want to go over cable management, want to go over all the things. PJ just had a gig, had some stuff. I had a gig, had some stuff. Want to just go over that and sort of give you a little heads up, maybe some tutorial on things that we've seen that may have done well and not done well, so we can kind of keep you going on that. The other thing is I talked about DJ Expo coming up in August. That is a go right now. I am going to be in New Jersey along with the crew from Pioneer DJ. We're very, very excited about that. You're going to want to make sure you come by our booth as we get closer. I'll give you the booth number, the information, giveaways. We've got a big seminar. We can't promise it right now, but we are going to shoot to have a DJ happy hour from DJ Expo. That'll be in person with all of you that go to the show, and we'll have some giveaways, some other stuff going on. So a lot coming up in July and August. Again, super hot out, so I appreciate you if you've been waiting for us. I, again, apologize that we ran a little bit late. The Matrix took hold of me, and I got all thrown off kilt. But I'm back. I'm ready for you. And what I'm going to do now is we are going to utilize the virtual reality. We're going to start switching cameras and go to a club lounge where we have our DJ set up. We're then going to spend most of the show with that as what you see. You'll also see the wide shot of JP and myself, but a lot of the show you'll actually see what it looks like in there. One of the things up front I want to tell you is I just got into this myself. It doesn't seem like something that I would be a good fit for, and I kind of walked in with that attitude, and within about a minute, I was already getting ready to order one of these headset units because you could sit down anywhere in the world with your laptop, put on this headset, go into TribeXR's room, get the game where you have two CDJs and a mixer, take your music from Rekordbox, bring it into the game off your laptop, and in seconds be doing a mix. And the coolest part is you could do a back-to-back with anyone that has the headset that has the game. So if you have a friend in Europe, you have a friend in the Middle East, you have a friend in South America, North America, wherever in the world, they can come in, you can invite them in and they can stand. And you'll see that later on in the show today where I'll be hanging out with someone who's not here. Obviously, we're in virtual reality, but you can do that and you can throw it up to Twitch. And I talked to my people at my accountant firm, Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, and they have expressed to me that this would be a write-off since I'd be using it to DJ online and send my sets up to Twitch in a virtual reality sense. So I think you're going to find out this is really, really cool. If you're just getting into DJing, it's a great educational tool. If you're already a DJ and you want to utilize this without having to break out gear, but use CDJ's 3000 models and a 900 Nexus 2, and I believe more gear is coming down the road, this is a great way to start. So with all that thrown out there, I want to keep things rolling for you today. want to spend the time with you as best we can. We're going to bring my producer in. You guys have never met him, Jean-Pierre. He's going to be coming on camera for the first time. We're going to let him take over the virtual side of this. Jean-Pierre, get out here, my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, my producer, Jean-Pierre, you guys thought I was joking, did this by myself from like my garage. Not the case. This is the producer of the show.
Cheers to everybody, and thanks so much to our loyal viewers for supporting the show and checking in with us, and of course doing happy hour with us. Happy to be here with you guys today. I'm just going to go through the overview of the Oculus Rift and what it's like kind of interfacing and getting started with the VR components of the TribeXR experience. So let me go ahead and just share the screen view.
Yeah, we're going to be switching some things. So be prepared that screens will be changing. We've got both of our XMG laptops running today. We're running TribeXR on one of them. On the other one over here, we're running it as a back to that one. So
you can already see my avatar is kind of coming to life as I put on these goggles. PJ, is there any echo coming through on my microphone right now?
Very little, but you're good. We
I'm
can hear you
good.
loud and clear.
All good. So, PJ, remind me, are you guys seeing first person right now? No, you're seeing third person, correct?
We're seeing third person.
they're seeing third person.
Cool, guys. So here I have my hands. Let me go ahead and pull up the menu so I can see what you guys see.
And again, we're looking at the avatar of JP with the gear in front of him, but now he's switching to his view so you can see what the room looks like with his perception and the depth and everything.
So the same units that are in front of me in real life are also in front of me in the game, right? You can see that they're a little larger, which makes them more tactile to interact with, right? You're able to get right close and actually use knobs right on top of each other. And
can you adjust the booth height? Can you
I can adjust the boost height in case you like standing desks, or maybe you want to play in sitting down mode.
Yeah. So that's along with the different variations. The big thing is, and I think you can see it on camera, is there's two little blue orbs. And that's really where a lot of things end up happening by simply depressing your index finger on these controllers. You're able to then, within proximity of something on the mixer or the player, have it happen. Maybe show them turning a knob.
Right. So I think that the decks are loaded for 2, 1, and 3 right now.
Yes.
So if I hover over here, you'll be prompt, just like on the computer. It will say volume fader. And really the only touch point you need to worry about when you're using this type of VR setup is your trigger fingers. When I turn knobs, I do have a tendency to also use my thumb. You can see, if you look closely, my thumb kind of comes close enough to pinch my finger. So it's a little bit of a force of habit, but it also feels more natural to me when I'm cranking those effects, I guess, since I'm a knob twisting type of DJ. And you're also able to hit play, hit Q, 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 Q. And that's basically all you need to worry about to interact with the actual devices themselves in the VR space. You're able to, let's say, make hand gestures. Like I can close my hands and make a fist so I can, you know, be dancing.
Jersey Shore.
Let me go ahead and change the view so you guys can see me. You guys are able to see me now in booth view, correct?
Yes.
So I can open my hands.
That is correct.
I can point at you.
Do the arm and hands
triggers.
In the air. Yeah.
Arms
there you go.
Hands wide open for the most part. I can do techno fist bump.
There you go.
You know, thumbs up, bang, bang.
How many camera angles can you show within the game?
So you guys are able to just see me right now, correct? But if I turn off this camera, you're in the primary menu of the game. The home menu is a good place to get started if, of course, you're just starting out. From left to right, you have the learn, and then you go ahead and play a session so that you can either join friends online, invite friends online, customize your space, etc. But I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to just the camera component section, because this is quite cool. If I turn on the camera, it's not as though I need to turn on, let's say, my web camera. It's a camera functionality that shows me front, and you can see the preview, correct? Top-down preview.
Yes.
Shoulder point of view, right? I can step into frame here with my avatar. I think I'm looking at you guys, am I not?
You are.
And side profile, right? And if people were in the environment with me at this point in time, you could see them either, being on the guest list behind me, dancing on the dance floor in front of me. I could go back to back. There's a multiplayer element that we'll be able to elaborate upon when we get Ozon in the mix later from TribeXR. But one thing that's really cool that I got to show you guys is the selfie stick. So you guys don't see this, but basically it's like a lightsaber, and I got to be careful not to touch the real units in front of me. But you're able to see me basically hold a selfie cam, right?
Yes.
All right, so I could switch hands, prop it up wherever. Oh, maybe I can't switch hands. Maybe it's all right-handed manipulation. There we go. So I can technically prop the camera up and step away. I can go ahead and bring it back down in a selfie view. If Jay was wearing a VR headset along with me, we could take a selfie. I could throw up gang signs. The options are certainly there. So that's the overview of the camera functionality, but something I want to show you guys that's pretty cool is, let's switch back to front. So you're able to now see me from a establishing shot, wide angle, right? I'm able to go ahead and put in happy hour background, just like we would on any happy hour show where we usually utilize the TV. You guys are able to see that, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Beyond that, I'm able to use chroma keying so that I could green screen my own effects, either from Resolume, OBS, if you're using some sort of virtual webcam plugin in your current streaming setup. I can patch through whatever video that I would want there. But beyond that, I can hide the whole room, hide the table. It's just me and the decks and whatever thing I want to patch through, right? So that's very enticing to those of you who are taking full advantage of your visuals.
And you can do videos.
Yeah, but one thing I really wanted to point out to you guys is the ability to have real-time engagement and monitoring of what's going on our Twitch chat. With Beatport and SoundCloud, I'm able to go ahead and just log in and then stream my library through and go ahead and pick my songs. Anything that you would be using the CDJ's touch displays for basically happens here. So whatever DJ software or interface you'd be using, generally speaking, will appear here. We took the liberty of getting ahead of this and taking our record box analyzed tracks, and you'll find them in playlist area. This is a relatively painless process. Look, you could even mix by key. All sorts of features like that are available to you. And of course, here you see a lot of my tracks here. And there we go, some jiffies. You guys are able to see that, correct?
Yes.
Loading a track is as easy as just triggering it, deck 1, hitting play, deck 2, and hitting play. I think that does wrap up a little bit of what I'm supposed to talk about. There's other features here like joining multiplayer lobbies so that you can, of course, throw a simulated party, right, with all your friends in VR. There's different skins you can get into. You can customize your avatar. Nice. We got a little kitty over there. Let me pet it. Come here. Where you going?
It left you.
So we have our avatar here. I chose one that kind of looks like Jay, kind of looks like me. We had to find something in between. But if you go ahead and look at these options available here, I'm able to go ahead and change out the room entirely. I don't have these available just yet, but they are available for purchase in the store. If you go ahead and just want to do this type of setup, what's that about?
You have dogs.
I guess we got
Running.
the Westminster Dog Show going
Yeah.
off behind me. I'm not sure who put that there. Maybe somebody playing a practical
Got a
joke
dog
on me.
fan.
But I am in the void, not unlike the Under the Skin movie, or if you watch that Netflix series Stranger Things, right? Very cool because I can obviously put something on there other than this Chewbacca-looking dog.
Dogs can DJ.
And of course, you can access lessons. And here you might find someone who's familiar to many of you who know us, DJ Hoppa, none other than the DJ coach himself, right? You're also able to shop through and customize skins. Ozan can speak to what it might be like if you wanted to customize your own skin and go ahead and import it into the game software as a mod. But I think that takes us to the roundabout way I was going to go ahead and show you guys how to interact with everything within here. Jay can go ahead and demonstrate the full functionality of the units themselves.
Yes.
Is there anything else I need to discuss, or are we good to just hand off the torch?
No, I think we can hand it off. You know, you pretty much covered everything that we had discussed. How does it work with Facebook is really the only thing we didn't touch upon.
Well, with Twitch, as you guys are seeing now, I am able to go ahead and cycle through this full functionality of the menu. From what I understand, the Oculus Quest, which is the slightly less expensive version of this without cables like these that you see here, which actually break out and bifurcate into two cables. One's DisplayPort, and I believe the other is USB. The Quest itself, you can only stream the first-person point of view of your performance. So this is something you can stream to Facebook. But with the Rift S, I'm able to do this full functionality type streaming. I'll allow Ozan to mention whether there's YouTube functionality or Periscope, Twitch, etc., and so forth. Let me go ahead and get, who's controlling these reels? Is Ozan just in here pulling the strings behind the
Reels
Matrix?
are kind of cool looking.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Was that you?
No,
Did you
wasn't me.
upload Jay's a big TikTok guy.
I'm a big TikTok
He
guy.
might have just uploaded all his TikTok memes here.
I could have.
So let me go ahead and select
They're gonna know.
the mirrored view, split view, and I will go ahead and turn this off and hand it off to Jay. Jay, do you want to do your demonstration overhead or in first person?
I think overhead would be good.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, guys.
Perfect.
Here you go, Jay.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
This is the right hand.
Right hand.
This is the left hand.
Left hand. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Again, thank you, JP. Appreciate that. First time on camera. Awesome job. So, as JP said, I'm going to be going over the functionality of the players. So, as you can see, you're looking down on the players. I'm now standing in front of my left deck. So, this is the CDJ 3000. And we've gone over this before, but I wanted to show you the ease of use of going through various functionalities. So if I wanted to do hot cues, if I wanted to go up and do needle search, if I want to take off quantize, if I want to change whether it's the master sync deck or if I want to change the jog wheel, you can't see it, but what I'm feeling and seeing is that everything is lighting up as I get to it. So even when I get on the jog wheel, it turns bright white. Cool thing I noticed was I can sink my hand into the jog wheel like that. And even though it seems like it disappears, once I'm locked into it, I can move it. I've got my looping functionality over here. I can do my beat jump. Everything literally that you can utilize within a CDJ 3000, you have that same availability over here on the decks. So again, starting up here at the top, I have full functionality within the screen, whether it's a beat jump, whether I want to do needle search, whether I want to set all my hot cues. Utilizing the deck is very easy, not an issue as far as the jog wheel is concerned. I've got the same functionality over on the right side. I'll go into a little more depth on that side. Right here in the mixer, you can see that I have a DJM 900 Nexus 2. Again, all of the knobs, they're lighting up as I'm getting to them and going over them. And once you're in proximity, that allows you, if you see right now, you should see the fader going up and down. If I get up here to the low tone, you should see as I turn my hand, that's turning. You can do all these things. It's a matter of proximity. And then, as we said earlier, once you click the index finger, that there's an orb that locks in, and that's what tells you you're on it. So right there, now I can go up and down, I can move things, I can do that with the crossfader. So there's no difference in how the mixer works, how the players work within virtual reality as they do in the real world. Hence why I'm so excited, because giving this, and I've got a cat. Oh, I've got several cats rocking on the screen now. Hey, cat. I don't want to knock over the main computer, my luck. So going through, if you've never DJ'd before, you're going to find out very quickly what everything does by its sense. If you turn a low up or down, changing how that tone utilizes within the track, raising volume, using crossfader, using effects. Let me go over here. Let me first bring up here. Let me go to my music. And again, many of you understand I am not the guy that you would look at and say, hey, Jay's over there in virtual reality. And yet I'm really, really excited by not only the ease of use, but how simply it's been to get things going when it comes to bringing things in. Let me go to my music menu. I'm going to go to playlists that JP had shown before. I've got one right here, TribeXR. Let me go down through it. Let's do this track. Let's load it to deck 2. So now I have a track loaded, and as you can see, you should hear that. I'm going to turn the volume up. PJ, can you verify if you guys can hear that?
Turn it up a little louder. We can hear it.
I'm sorry, turn it up a little bit?
Turn it up. Yes, up.
Turn it up. Oh, not loud enough. Well, let's just do this.
There you go.
How's that? Is that working for you?
That's good.
Okay, I'm going to keep it there, and I'm going to talk through the track. So I'm going to utilize different things. So let's go over here to my color effects. Let's see, what color effect do I want to use? I think we will use Crush. Let's utilize Filter. Oh, I'm still using Crush, so I want to get back to Filter. Yeah, there we go. Nope, not there we go. So even if you had the real gear at home, this is exactly what you'd be doing, utilizing different effects, different things on it. Let's see. So I've got it set. Let's see. Turn my mid down a little bit. So again, the functionality aspect, everything that I want to do within the DJM 900 Nexus 2, CDJ 3000 is already there, and I can capitalize on it. If you've never DJ'd before, you can go through and utilize not only the effects, the sliders, the knobs, but you can actually see what it's like to be a DJ. Now, if you're already a DJ, this is the gear you're familiar with, you're good to go. So you bring your music in, you start playing, you do a back-to-back, you do whatever it is you want to do. I really think this is going to be fun and cool. And like I said, I mean, I'm excited about it because I can do this anywhere in the world. I could be waiting somewhere in my room, doing whatever, and put on the headset and start sending it up to Twitch and interact with fans, interact with people. It really opens the doors, in my opinion. Now, I can even go so far as to right now see my Twitch setup. All right. Let's see, playlists. I don't know if you guys can see any of what I'm seeing on the overhead.
We're
All
only
right.
seeing
So
the
why don't we?
overhead, Jay.
I'm sorry.
We are only seeing the overhead view. We're not seeing the Twitch or anything.
Okay, perfect. Then let's do this. Let's go to some questions. How does that sound?
We can do that. Should we bring Ozan back in?
Yeah, let's bring Ozan back in, but let me take a
Let's.
look at these are big
He's
questions.
actually setting it up. Let's get ready.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. So I'm.
Hey guys, I have some questions for you.
Oh,
How functional
that?
is the touchscreen? I think you can do track preview, correct?
are you
What's that, JP?
asking
I'm asking you, Jay.
if you can do track preview? Yes, you can, because you can go up onto the needle search. One of the things is when you've got a track loaded, if you wanted to listen to it ahead of time, because it comes from Rekordbox, you can actually do a track preview. So you can come over here and utilize the cue point. The other thing is I'm listening up here. I'm pointing at what I think should be my avatar. The headset I've got is actually where I'm listening. So everything is interacting between the visual and the hearing. I just got a question here. Let's see. Bill Marsh, I just saw, had a question about smart CDs or CDJ 350s. You know what? We can talk more with Osan about other gear that's going to be coming into the game. But as it stands, we are going to be doing more gear down the road. I don't have an exact answer for what that gear will be, but I think you're going to find out that it's going to cover a lot of gear. You know what? Res Music, I don't think this is really the toy that new DJs are going to see it as. I think it's a great gateway to getting into being a DJ, but also to actually interact with the functionality. Let's say you and I both had the headsets. You're in the game. You hit me up and say, "Hey, I'm having a problem like figuring out why I can't get my effects to work." Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Invite me into the room. Now I can stand here over the mixer and realize that, you have something like, the effect not turned up. You have the frequencies turned off. There's different things that will come into play. So it's a great teaching tool. I also think you're going to get DJs who do this all the time who jump on this. The familiarity is there. They utilize this gear all the time in the real reality. And when they're in virtual, boom, you know?
Jay, can you use KeySync?
Yes, you can use beat sync and key sync. All of these effects that, again, you can see my hand going over whether I'm doing sync, I'm doing beat jump, I'm doing key sync. You can utilize these in the, I keep saying game, but the more I deal with it, the more it feels like I'm just DJing. If I'm hitting a track, I'm turning the volume up. If I want to come up, set up a hot cue, call the hot cue up. I've got quantize on, so I'm going to turn that off because it's, and just like in a real player and mixer interaction, when quantize is on, it's going to jump to the beat, so I can't hit.
Show us what your hand looks like when you turn a knob.
Okay, so I'm going to turn up some volume. I've got filter on, so let's go to this knob.
You actually rotate your wrist.
And I can do it pretty high above without much effort. So over here,
What's it like scratching?
I'm sorry?
What's it like scratching?
It's funny. It's very similar as far as the hand motion goes. I find I can do it. I'm not a great scratch DJ, I'm the first to admit, but as far as grabbing the platter, I'm opening my fingers in real world, but the cool thing I do like is, if you can see, I put my hand into the game and I'm still able to scratch like a ghost scratch.
Wow. Maybe we need to ask Ozan if there's a scratch handicap.
There might be a scratch feature that we don't know about. But for the things I would normally do, if I would, pull the deck back to get to a point, it's doing everything it's supposed to do. That's the kind of really cool function and feature that I really like about it. I mean, it stops really being like, oh, this is cool virtual reality game. I don't even like the word game. I mean, this is, this is two CDJ 3000s and a DJM 900 because I'm wearing a headset and I'm in this great TribeXR virtual reality. That's kind of more the way I'm looking at it.
Can you change the camera angle to booth view?
Give me one
Go to
second.
the menu.
Yes, I can.
Because Ozan is going to join us.
Oh, okay. So I should go to front
He's going to tear it up because he's much more used to using this than we are.
The only thing is, I'm not seeing. I can see the front view. I've even got the S7 logos behind me.
I'm going to have to step in and create a room so Ozan can join us and really tear it up.
Oh, I can do that.
Go to the room options.
Yep. My friend showed me how to do this.
Create a room in the main menu. We're going to do
it friends only.
Click create room.
Yep. I got it. Now, here's the thing. And I'm sure Ozan can walk in and take care of this in no time at all. My environment that I'm looking around right now, I see my hands up near my face, but everything around me except directly behind me is dark. So where I would normally see my club room, you know what? Let me...
You see Ozan with you?
No, I do not.
Look to your left.
Oh, hey, buddy. What's up? Oh, he's way down there. He's jumping. I'd love to have him a little bit louder. Hold on one sec.
You wearing in-ears?
I have my in-ears.
Okay.
But I'm going to let, actually that got louder, but he didn't.
Ozan's audio is not coming through on the stream. Let's see if we can turn him up a little.
So now I'm echoing.
Let's have Ozan patch his audio through.
Ozan is now playing a track. I'm actually just going to lower the deck a drop. The only thing is, my camera view is I'm seeing. Oh, there we are, but I can't. If I turn off camera, maybe. No. See, again, this is the beauty of it. You get to learn these things up front, close, and personal. I like the view I'm seeing on the screen in front of me, but I don't see our club room anymore. It's either the setup or it's dark. Yes, PJ.
Oh, I was just going to say, turn up the music a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, turn the music up. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, sweet.
What do you see in front of you? Is it dark?
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah, I'll show you how to switch it up. If you go into the main menu.
Okay.
And go
turn the
into
music down a little bit. Turn the music down.
Guys. I am. Okay.
If you go into the content window, which is that little puzzle pieces looking thing, the square with the puzzle pieces in there.
Okay. Oh,
and
wait a second. That's what it is.
Yeah, go into your environments.
One, right?
Yeah, if you go into the environments, you can switch to the other environment.
Oh, okay. And I want this one. Oh. Okay, hold on. I thought we already went into that. Which one are we in? Oh, Tribe. That's the one I want.
There you go. Boom.
Yes. Okay, now
Dunzo.
we're in a world I
You
understand.
have the power.
Yes.
Yes. Here, I'll turn on my video too, so we can kind of see
This is awesome.
see
But
what's
again,
happening.
I'm here in SoCal. Hassan
I'm in the desert.
is in the desert.
I'm hiding out in the
Beside me.
desert.
But
I've been
yet we're
hiding.
both interacting with the same equipment. You just turned channel 1 down, and now, I'm turning channel 1 up.
Yep.
So we're this is the part that I think is so amazing. We're interacting on this as one unit, but we're not technically with each other. How
Yeah.
did this whole thing come together to get you guys with DJing and with us?
Well, the thing that is kind of probably most remarkable with regard to this like back-to-back DJing flow is that our lead developer Hunter, God bless Hunter, just took it upon himself to figure out how to make this happen. Where we have this, it's an app, right? You have your version, I have my version, and we're doing all this simulated DJ flow. But then he added this multiplayer functionality that allows us to do this shared room experience. And it's a little bit like making a phone call. I'm able to call you, and then we're able to have this dialogue. But at the same time, we got full functioning decks in front of us, which is kind of mind blowing because,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, for the first time, at least that I can think of, we can play music across the internet, across the globe, from anywhere in the world. And, we have folks in our community that are, in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in Spain, all around the world. And we can jump in together and have these multiplayer experiences and get a deeper, kind of a deeper appreciation of DJ flow, music in general, and also create these social bonds, which are just kind of what music's largely about, is creating this, community vibe. So it's one of my favorite features within the app. And when I kind of hear Hunter talk about how it works and how he implemented it, it's a little bit mind bending. But essentially, it's kind of this relativity thing. Like you have your clock, you have your time. I have my clock, I have my time, and then there's absolute time. Right now, you're running at a slightly different time zone than I'm in, like milliseconds difference. But the system's handling it and synchronizing everything so that it sounds good to you, it sounds good to me, it faithfully reflects everything I'm doing, it faithfully reflects what you're doing, and we're having this shared phenomena. So we're not literally playing at exactly the same moment in time. It is a little offset because there's inevitable latency that happens with internet, traffic, but it feels like it's super live. So that's kind of what's happening right now.
I've just got to bring that into my head.
Yeah.
It's like explain like that. It's mind blowing.
It's a mind bending thing. Yeah.
It totally. The other day there was nothing going on. You and I were hanging out. We're here. We're talking. We're touching gear. You're showing me this, showing me that. It was amazing, and it still is. Do you find people coming in to learn how to DJ first, or are you finding people that are DJs coming in and utilizing their skills already?
Yeah, we've seen a bit of both, where there's absolute beginners that have kind of seen DJing from a distance. They've seen their favorite DJs on clubs and festivals, and they've seen it on, they've seen the equipment and they've been curious about it, but they just didn't have access. And now with the headset, they have real quick access. I mean, the app is $30 to get, and now you have this, you can check out this whole experience. And it kind of piqued their interest. They've always had the desire to get involved with music, but just didn't have the accessibility. But now they can. And the goal really is to build their confidence so that you can go, you know what? It's a lot of buttons. There's a lot of sliders, and it's overwhelming and intimidating at first. But once you get some basic fundamentals in place, it's actually not that difficult. It's really about artistic choices. They build up their confidence and they graduate to getting a physical controller, and God knows eventually actually getting a pair of CDJs. So that's kind of our goal is building up the confidence so they actually graduate to physical equipment.
Yeah, I mean, the interaction, once you're used to hitting controls, and anyone that's ever played a game, and it's not something, I'm a big gamer guy, so that's been the toughest part, is just getting used to okay, when I go like this, I have to grab this, and when I go like here, I have to hit this. But everything does respond like the CDJs and 900 that I actually have in the real world in front of me. And
Yeah.
the integration is incredible. More gear down the road. I know we probably can't say specifically, but is this something that we'll see the app grow and the game grow along with the DJs?
Yeah. Well, we certainly plan to, roll out more features. We got, again, as I mentioned, a small but dedicated team, 3 full-time engineers that are hammering away to build new features for everybody. And, we have this wonderful relationship with Pioneer where we're kind of figuring out exactly what the roadmap should be. But we're actively working on a sampler, and that should be really fun because that's sort of the gateway into music production. People will be able to drop in sample packs, construct their own tracks, and then integrate it with their live performances. And so we're working on that. We also have a vinyl player that's in alpha right now. So if people want to check out the vinyl player, they can DM us on Discord, either myself, Ozon, on our Discord channel, or T-Sickle, and we'll get you set up with the vinyl player. And then we want to do more. We want to add the art, like an effects unit as well would be really great. And it'd be awesome if it were like legit the Pioneer kit. And so that's something that we're just kind of waiting to see how people respond to how the Pioneer community responds to this virtual equipment. Hopefully it's a positive one. And if it continues to be positive, and it has been so far. So if it continues to be positive, then we should be able to roll out more equipment.
Yeah, I can see an EFX 1000, an RMX 1000, different pieces, the Tori's line, all of that really working well with this because again, everything you do in the real world DJing, it's no different. And I think that was the piece that just got stuck the other day. I mean, after you and I hung out the other day, I went home and I talked to my son. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a headset. He's like, for what? I said, because I can do this on Twitch. I can invite people in. This is just mind blowing to me how simple and easy it is. Just you were going through it. You've been on it more than I have, but just really quick, just show a couple of key features that, you've come into knowing and liking on the CDJ 3000, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. So like the things that we implemented that were specific to the 3000 are the beat jump features, so I can jump around on the track. Also the loop feature, so I can click on loops and create these loops and have them. And these are really kind of wonderful features that improve the DJ flow, gives you more creativity. And of course, the ability to set these hot cues, so I can just click a button and now I have the hot cue. And the fact that this is happening in a multiplayer context as well across the internet is pretty amazing. So I can activate the hot cues. We even have the details on the platter itself. So right now we're in vinyl mode. So if I grab the top, got the vinyl flow. But we've separated the top and the side. So if I grab the side, it's now in CDJ flow. So I can do this and speed up and slow down the audio. I can switch it to CDJ mode if I want. And so now, even when I grab the top, it's in CDJ flow. It's got all those details in the mix. You got the jog adjust, so I can change the... It's got like all the details in there. And then also on the mixer itself, we have the range of color effects. And shout out to Sam for implementing these awesome color effects and the beat effects for the DJM 900 Nexus 2. So things like the... and then the echo effect. We even have post effects. So all the business. And then, we have the full range of beat effects as well. So if I want to drop in, for example, like echo, which is one of my favorites, put it at 3/4. It's a little crazy with this. And again, the post effect. So yeah, you can basically, be as expressive as you would need to be on the actual physical equipment. And then, furthermore, again, at the core is these are skills that transfer onto the physical equipment. So if you learn how to use the color effects as part of your mix flow, you can jump on the physical equipment and do it all there.
Yeah, no, it's still kind of, as I'm watching, it's like, as you're moving, I'm moving because I'm like, oh, let me give him room.
Yeah.
The whole thing feels like these are my players and my mixer, but yet you're interacting on them at the same time. And it's just, to me, it's just mind blowing how you guys have nailed this. I mean, you've nailed this.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to me. And, like I said, I'm the first to admit it wasn't something on my radar that I was like, oh, I'm really excited about this. Now I'm like overwhelmingly thrilled about it.
That's great to
Because
hear.
I see potential. Somebody having a problem, I can go in and say, oh, what's the problem? Oh, this? Oh, here, let me show you. You turn this and you do this, you do this. I mean, what a learning tool. And I think at the heart of it, is that really the point of this, is that it's a learning tool?
Yeah, that's the core sort of value exchange. I'm just going to keep this going here a little bit. Is it's an educational tool. I mean, that's one of the biggest powers of VR is that it's this spatial immersive phenomena. It's an incredible training platform. What it becomes in the future is still anyone's guess. Is it going to be a mainstream entertainment platform? Is it going to be, other kinds of social platforms? Maybe. It's certainly a lot of potential that that's the case. But one thing that's definitely a no-brainer is it's amazing for training. And so that is kind of, the core usage of it. So as you mentioned, we have DJ Hapa as our resident mentor. We have the on-demand 3D lessons from him, and then we have daily workshops with T-Sickle. So if you get the VR, you can jump in with a session with him and everyone else in the community, and just like trade knowledge about how to DJ and level up your skills. We even have a boot camp where if you really want to be serious about it, you can join the boot camp and level up, and DJ Hapa leads that boot camp. So yeah, it's really at the core, it's training. The reality though is that virtual reality is a pretty amazing and flexible medium. So it's also great for performing, like we're kind of experiencing with the Twitch stream, where you can be performing to Twitch, YouTube, Mixcloud. And so maybe on an off day when you're not like live in person on the physical stage on a Wednesday or something, you can still connect with your community by jumping on these live streams and having people in your room and hanging out with them. And then also like live streaming and just performing. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the attention to detail. I mean, even the avatar attention to detail with eyes moving and things in constant interaction. It's just, oh man.
Well, I
Yeah.
got to say, just real quick, a shout out to the engineering team, because like Hunter, Sam, Tony, I mean, that they're the magicians behind this. I got to say, like their ability to assemble all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then of
Guys
course,
are
Neil
amazing.
did a lot of the kind of the low level audio engineering. It's pretty dope, especially for such a small team to do, something like this. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I've told a few people about it and they were kind of taken aback, like, really, VR? I'm like, I'm not kidding. You've got to see this in practice. And I'm hoping that as people see this, whether it's today live or as we put it up on Facebook and YouTube, and all of those, of course, are at Pioneer DJ USA, that they'll see, wow, I could totally do this. I mean, the first person I find that has a headset, once I get mine, it's like, hey, we got to do a back-to-back set. Like
Yeah.
just bringing in the record box music. My producer had his music. I brought mine in. It could not have been easier in the long haul to have it all set up. So what I'd love to do is, PJ, do we have any questions that we could throw out to us that,
Yep, we do have a couple questions in here.
Okay.
So Ricky the Rock is asking, what is the future of the relationship between TribeXR and Pioneer DJ?
Well, that's the one that remains to be seen, right? They, Pioneer graciously let us implement and emulate the CDJ 3000 and the DJM 900 Nexus 2, and that was, a really thorough process. Like we wanted to make sure that we got it right before we release it to the public, because Pioneer is a dope brand, and it's we need to kind of make sure that we represent the brand faithfully. So anything we do going forward has to have that same level of quality, and has to also just meet the expectations of the Pioneer DJ community. So that's something that we're still in the process of figuring out. And it really is largely based on the feedback and the reaction we get from the community, the Pioneer DJ community. If people are like, all thumbs up and it's feeling good, probably we'll roll forward, but that sort of remains to be seen.
sure, future's always kind of undecided, but so far it's like, I can't wait to see things like POX and RMX and, even controllers with a visual up, because we already have, I don't know if people probably saw it on the overhead view. We have a visual of what both decks are doing with a waveform. So we could certainly have a controller aspect, I suppose. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not engineer stuff at all. I'm not going to play, virtual pulse over here or anything. PJ, other questions?
First, I got to comment on the fact that your avatar, Jay, looks exactly like you with a haircut.
Yes. That was the whole point, was like cool glasses and like shorter hair and stuff.
Yeah.
What I was going for. You can
So-
create your own avatar. You can go in, and I was kind of running around, the heat and everything, dog and life. But, once I get it, the avatar I have will be a little bit more Keanu kind of ish kind of thing, but I'm just saying. But yeah, any other questions while we've got Osan here that he can help us with?
For sure. Next question is from Jenny Jackson. She's asking, does Tribe get compared to DJ Hero or other VR rhythm games?
That's I think a really cool question, because the answer is yes. That is probably the first assumption that people make, is that it's more of a game, more of a rhythm game, and DJ Hero is probably the standout game along that category. And there's a little bit of like getting oriented and realizing, wow, it's not a game, because it's a simulation. You can think of it more like a flight simulator than this sort of abstract game. But at the same time, we actually want to add more game elements to it, gamify this a little bit, so that it's easier to access and easier to learn. Yeah.
For sure. And next question from Adam McDowell, is TribeXR more for cultural, and I know we touched on this earlier, but is TribeXR more for cultural lifestyle or an education brand?
It's again more for education. Yeah, I think that's the core value of this experience. And then that might lead to other things, but at its core, it's about learning the DJ flow and learning how to use the equipment, and then take those skills with you and do it in the real world on physical equipment with your friends at clubs and parties and things like that. Because that's the kind of joy that I think people really have, is having that moment when you're with your friends and the music's just right and the feelings are just right and everything's kind of come together. That's what brings us back to wanting to learn how to use the equipment in the first place. There's some cool things that are happening in virtual worlds as well, which we're really excited about, but it's that physical experience that is one of the main motivators.
For sure. And this next one is, I think Jay can answer this next one. I know he saw this question earlier. But from DJ Chunky B, does this play CDs or should I keep my CDJ 350s?
You know what? I think keeping the 350s for those days when you want to reminisce and do a throwback set with CDs would be amazing. It's, again, I don't know where he's located in the planet, but we're at a point where the weather is changing dramatically. Here in Southern California, I'm sure it's not in the desert. It's been insanely hot. But for us, laptops are becoming an issue. I was speaking with DJs in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and we're getting to that point now where, that might be a mechanism on an early in the day event might come into play. And I'm not kidding about that. I've had to change over from laptops to sticks a couple times. So having CDJ 350s to do a direct sun cocktail would be a dope thing to do. Oh, somebody's got like a cool jumping emotes there. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm switching cameras around because I'm just trying things out as we go through this.
It's a discovery process.
Yeah, I think we're going to go top down just to show the gear off a little bit. You see the hands coming in. I'm going to do thumbs up. Going to kind of do crazy cross hand thing here. We can do like fist bump here in the middle.
Boom.
Ozan, I do got a question for you from myself.
Yes.
From yourself.
How many waveform types of the CDJ do you have on there, or just
right now,
the one?
There's just the one waveform type. So in other words, we don't have like the highs, mids, and low representation of the waveforms. If
The
that's
three band.
Yeah, the 3-band waveforms. And then on the decks themselves, you might see, I'm not sure what view we're looking at, but on the decks themselves, there's the large scale waveform that you would expect to see on the display, and then the animated waveform that gives you the beat grid information.
Pretty cool. I had to ask because I keep seeing it from the top down view, and I was wondering if you can change that.
Well, that's one of the things that we chatted about with the Pioneer folks, and that's definitely one of the requests, like getting that 3-band EQ. So we can do that.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and that is it for. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, like, even where it is right now, PJ, I mean, it's amazingly easy and intuitive. Having it go to 3-band would only elevate it that much more. But, I think where it is now, you're right where you need to be. But, it's a great question in that when that does happen, it'll only elevate it that much more.
And one of the things that the viewers should also know is that the frame rate as you're playing the game or playing the simulation in the Oculus is actually a higher frame rate. So it's even more immersive for the person experiencing it. So
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
getting.
like
I was
it's
just gonna
crystal
say,
clear.
Yeah, especially if you go up close and personal, you can
Yeah,
really get
like if you get, I mean, like I'll lift the game, and I don't think let me do. You can see how much closer it got for you. So let me go to side camera, and you'll see what I mean. Like you see how much higher the gear is. What I'm looking at now, it's absolutely spot on, right down to like the screws and everything. And I'm going to pass into the gear. This is that goes. You can actually look up into the gear. So if you could see my visual, I'm looking up at the jog wheel. So if I do this, the jog wheel starts to spin. It's, you know,
you can see
like,
all the electronics inside the kit too. You get all the IP from Pioneer. You can figure out what's
yeah,
going on.
it's pretty crazy. Now there's a handle right here that I just squeeze and go down, and I can lift up as to whatever height I want. Let me get it on the side again.
And
We got
Ozan,
some
you don't have to answer this
funny.
one, but like, how did you guys get such good detail on the gear? Like, was it like a scan, or?
Yeah, I mean, we got well. So we worked with a VFX artist named Thomas Morale, who's
Mhm.
contracts with us, and he's actually based full time in New Zealand. He works for Weta, which does a lot of the effects for like Lord of the Rings and sort of these big budget feature films.
Mhm.
And yeah, he's essentially a friend, and we worked together and we built the equipment. The Pioneer folks did share the CAD files so that we had reference for exactly the silhouettes and exactly the details. But we implemented the 3D model, and yeah, I mean the team has a background in game and film, and so we're kind of familiar with the 3D side of things.
Awesome,
Yep.
awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, I
There
need to
we are.
try that because I'm just watching you guys play this
Well, one thing, by the way,
like a
Now that I
Twitch
can
Jay,
see
show.
myself, I can jam out a little bit more.
yeah, I wanted to mention that we're going to be potentially also at DJ Expo, and one thing that we could do is have like a remote streaming session party,
Hassan, I'm
something,
doing a rave
something. And
heart. I'm doing a
oh,
rave
sorry,
heart. Oh, that's dope. That's awesome.
freedom.
So you're going to be at Expo?
Yeah,
We're
we
going to be at
potentially.
Expo.
That's what I heard.
That would
So
be awesome if
we
you
could do
guys are
like a
there.
virtual something.
And I think Jay's audio went out once
Yeah,
again.
I'm
Jay,
hearing
thumbs
him
up
in
if you
the.
hear me.
Jake, apparently your audio went out in the stream, but yeah,
Yeah. So,
I'm not sure.
well, any last things you want to say about the simulation?
I am good. I think Jay's audio maybe went out, but as far as from Tribe's perspective, I would say I encourage people to join us on Discord because that's where the community is, and we got an awesome mods in Discord. We got awesome resident DJ program as well. So if you want to be performing, if you want to learn how to stream on Twitch and YouTube and Mixcloud and other platforms, we got Scott Marshall, who's our resident DJ manager. He can get you set up. Yeah, just sort of take the next step from there.
Oh, and a couple more questions. These just came in. How many in-game tutorials do you have?
We have your first onboarding tutorial, which gives you the basics of VR and how to use the kit. And then we have more fundamentals. So Hapa is like producing lesson packs every month, and we're rolling it out on a monthly basis. And they'll get progressively more and more advanced. And again, it's part of that getting you onto the main stage at Tomorrowland kind of vibe. So yeah, we'll be adding more and more lessons as we go along.
For sure. And do you have anything that's one-on-one?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what the workshops are about. So we have
Okay.
daily workshops, and actually multiple times a day. So we have folks within our community that are hosting rooms. We got T Sickle, we got Illuminati, we got Nina Crease, and they're hosting rooms basically every day. So you can jump in morning, noon, and night, depending on your time zone, and just have a one-on-one session with them. And yeah, if you want to get super serious and like get a dedicated DJ mentor, we can hook you up. Hapa is probably the best one to talk with about that.
For sure. And what's the average amount of hours a user usually plays or enters the simulation?
I mean, in general, it's a pretty intense experience. When you put the headset on, you're just completely immersed in this VR world, and the optics are, quite intense. So I recommend like 30 minutes to 1 hour if you want to feel comfortable. And then, as we mentioned, we've really optimized the performance so that you're really comfortable. You're not experiencing any kind of low latency funkiness. So 30 minutes to an hour. But then there's some people that are super hardcore and like will do like a 24-hour stream nonstop. But that's a whole nother story.
For sure. And What would you say has like your user demographic? Is it more HTC users, Quest, or Rift?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I mean, it was evenly distributed across HTC and Rift back in the day, and Oculus and Steam back in the day. But with the Quest, that's a next level device right now. I mean, I think the fact that it's so affordable, right? It's essentially a $300 device, and you get access to all like high end VR experiences. It doesn't require computers. It's a standalone device, and it's just so easy to use. You just kind of pop on the headset and go. That one's a kind of 10 times more engagement than the other devices. So the Quest 2 is probably the device to look out for.
For sure. And that is it we got for questions, and we got to wrap up the show. So
Awesome.
really appreciate everyone. Jay, are you back with us? Okay, so he's just hand signals. So.
Yeah. Hey Jay, high fives. How about one of these down low?
Awesome. You just
oh, Jay, we hear you.
You know what?
I can hear you.
This was an amazing show to do. So excited. Thank you so much, Sonic. Everybody at TribeXR. When hopefully you're at Expo, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know there'll be a lot of people there that this is right up their alley, and really something they can utilize because they're either doing Twitch sets, IG sets, or utilizing their SoundCloud performances and just bringing stuff in. Maybe looking at Mixcloud, but being able to utilize this much gear with headphones and a laptop is just amazing to me. So we're really excited about the future of this, and we'll be checking out you guys as we go forward. Anyone has questions, they can contact you directly over there, going into TribeXR.com, correct?
Yes,
awesome.
TribeXR.com. Perfect.
PJ, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat today, I can even see we've got a lot of the usuals. Howie's here.
Hey Jay, you're cutting
music, thank you so much.
Hey Jay, can you hear me?
John C. always.
Saying goodbye. I think the audio is
Ross
cutting out a
Noir.
little bit.
You know what, everybody? Thank you so much for being in. I again apologize. We ran a little bit late. I got thrown into the matrix, and things just went south on me. So we ended up bringing you the show. I'm really proud and excited about it. I think it went really well. Thank everybody at Pioneer DJ again. Everyone at TribeXR, especially us, for being so cool with us and helping us out.
Once again, we appreciate everyone for coming out and watching the show. TribeXR, go to TribeXR.com. Jay, audio cut off, but thank you, everyone. Be back here. Be sure to follow us right here at Happy Hour.
Hey guys, if you can hear me, have a great
everybody.
Do the Kermit.
High fives. Famous, help me be seen.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Just in time as the track is ending.